Today I'll be making some berries and cream, ice cream. I have some fresh berries from our garden, and there's different kinds. I've got some blackberries, some strawberries, and some mulberries. I'm going to cook those and strain them, and I'm going to use as my base some crème fraîche that I made. It's pretty easy to make crème fraîche. You just mix a couple tablespoons of buttermilk in fresh cream and stir it, and then you let it sit in a fairly warm place, like room temperature place, overnight, and you put a towel over it, and it turns into some really nice crème fraîche. It's thick, it tastes good, it has a fresh taste. It's kind of like sour cream, but it's a little fresher taste, and I think it'll go really nicely in the ice cream. I'm going to mix a little bit of milk with that because I think it would be too rich to just use the crème fraîche. I'm also going to use a banana because I have this banana that's ripe. I think it'll be a good sweetener and a good emulsifier. I might use a little bit of this elderflower gin when I cook the fruit. And of course I always put vanilla and salt, and I probably will use a little sweetener. Today I'm using Splenda. And that's about it. So I'm going to start by cooking the fruit. I'm going to start by adding a little bit of butter to this pan and turning it on to medium heat. And I'm going to add all of my cut up berries, and I put a little bit of lavender in there. You can put whatever kind of berries you have, or whatever berries you want, and you don't have to put the lavender in. You can leave that out if you want. Pouring it all in there. I'm going to stir it up, and I'm going to cook this down, and then I'm going to add a few flavorings. I'm probably going to add the gin, let it cook off, and then I will strain it. After cooking this for about 5 minutes, its juices have come out of a lot of the fruits, and it's coming along nicely. It smells really good. Now I'm going to add my gin. This is also an optional thing. It just kind of adds a different dimension to your ice cream. I made sure that my heat wasn't too high because I didn't want it to catch on fire. Of course, it's not a problem if it does that. Just be ready for it. Now I'm going to add some of my flavorings. I'm going to do vanilla. I do vanilla in almost all. I'm going to add a little bit of sugar. This is vanilla bean paste. Comes out quickly because it's mixed with vanilla, so I'm not going to add any vanilla. That's plenty. Add a little sugar. And a little bit of lemon zest. And then I'll stir that up. After letting the gin cook off for a few minutes and stirring this up, I tasted it, and it tastes really good. Okay, I'm going to strain this into my creamy container. I have a strainer that's just the right size. You can do this in whatever order you want. You can put your crème fraîche in first and then add your liquid, but I wanted to see how much this was going to make. It's really hard to tell sometimes. Now that I've strained this, I have a little bit of liquid that's really good flavor. I'm going to add my banana. The banana I don't have to do anything special to. I'm just going to break it up. It's going to all get mashed up in there. It smells good. It's really ripe, but it doesn't have any brown spots. If it does have brown spots, that's totally fine. Now I'm going to add my crème fraîche. I'm going to add probably not all of this. I don't want it to be too rich. About that much. The rest can be saved. Just put it in the refrigerator. And I'm going to add a little bit of salt. I'm putting my hand over it because sometimes it comes out too fast. and the rest milk. I'm actually not going to go all the way up to the line. I'm going to put a little bit of milk in, and then I'm going to stir it. I'm going to taste it, and then if it's too strong, I'll add a little bit of milk, or maybe I'll add cream if it doesn't taste as rich as I expect. And then I'll be ready to freeze. I'm ready to spin this. I took a little bit of the top off since there was a little lump. I'm going to spin this on regular ice cream because it's a full fat creme fraiche. After the first spin, it's frosty, so I'm going to go ahead and take my spoon, go around the edge and feel to see how thick it is, decide if I need liquid. It feels pretty good. I don't think I'm going to add liquid. I'm just going to run this through one more time on the respin setting. I decided to just do the top half on this one because it's just me eating this, but either way, you do the same thing. This needs another run through. I'm going to add some liquid, but before I add the liquid, I wanted to taste it because I want to decide what kind of liquid I want to add to it. In this case, I tasted it. It tasted like it needed a little bit more sugar. I have never made ice cream before with crème fraîche, so it kind of dulled down the flavor slightly. It's still good, but it's just not quite as good as when I make things with, say, like yogurt. So I'm going to add a little bit of mango juice because it's really sweet and it'll go nicely with the berries. Just a tiny bit, and now I'll spin it again on respin and I think it'll be great. After respinning that, I think it's the perfect consistency and I'm ready to spoon it out. And as I go through this, I can tell it's perfect. I'm going to make a nice ball. That's how it came out. And now it's time to taste. It's good, but it doesn't have as much of the flavor as the yogurt. I prefer the yogurt to the crème fraîche. It kind of, it has a little bit of a waxy texture due to the heavy cream, and the yogurt is just a lot more smooth, and I like the sourness of the yogurt. This is a little bit too delicate. So what I think I'm going to do to fix it up is to put more citrus in there, more sugar, and mix it up again and see how it goes.